In this session, we're going to talk about what happened on NZDJPY. Let's go. NZDJPY, we, if it accumulates, maybe buys, right? Maybe, but we'll leave for now. NZDUSD, again, similar situation. If it accumulates, maybe buys, all right? Today we're going to be talking about NZD and the news, all right? Now, last night I actually had an analysis on maybe one or two pairs, and out of all of these pairs on the side here, out of all of these, there were very, very few that stood out to me. Now, I'll tell you upfront, I am in UCAD currently for sells, and I did say sells possible last night, right? Right in this area. I did say sells, and I did sell it, and it's currently up, give or take about 20 pips, something like that. Not my usual shenanigans, but I digress. It did actually sell from where I said it would, and it's floating profit, right? But the real magic is with these NZD pairs, and two in particular looked pretty good, right? And I remember talking about both NZD JPY in this area and NZD USD also in this area, right? Now, I want to talk about both of these today, right? I was unable to catch either of them because neither of them gave me the exact rules that I was looking for, but I was correct. All right, I can even show you. I said NZDXXX possible buys, and I said that not just in the session last night, in the recording, but I actually also even said it in a message because Luke, which is he's one of my students, he said something and it's the truth, right? And I want to draw your attention to this. This is Decipher FX, obviously. This is the person who runs and controls Decipher FX. He said something that when you understand the trap, it is always in alignment with the news, or the news is always in alignment with the trap. So you don't even have to really know that the news is there, right? Right? Yeah, bro, you can go ahead. You don't even have to realize that the news is there, or there's going to have news or anything like that, because so long as you understand the trap that's going on, more or less you're pretty much in the clear. All right. Now, as I said, this was like a really, in the moment, this was like a really ridiculous, just tap and run away, right? Both on NZDJPY and on NZDUSD, right? And honestly, thank God that I didn't catch it, right? Because it would have taken me out. Now, I would have been right. Look at this. Look at that. I would have been right, but I digress. I would have been taken out. And that is, defeating the point. The point is that let's discuss why this would have happened. So the first thing I want to touch on is obviously what direction is NZDJPY and, well, obviously NZDUSD. Both of them are, well, they were correlating at the time. You all know I don't really believe in correlation the way that most people believe in it, but at the time they're correlating in terms of their direction. What direction or what momentum direction is these NZ, or were these NZD pairs moving in? Overall bullish, very good, right? You could see it, right? You could literally just close one eye and see that this is bullish, right? Now, a mistake that I think a lot of people make is that people look at pairs like this and see going up for so long and say things like it's been going up for too long, so it's time to sell, right? I think people think, or retail traders think, or even traders on the whole think that Forex is like gravity, that what goes up must come down. Now, I'll tell you that Nothing is forever. Listen, don't get me wrong, nothing is forever. Sooner or later, the opposite will hold true. But who are you to make that statement that right where you want to go against the direction is where it will actually turn? Who are you to make that statement? That's pretty presumptuous of you, I would say. So what I do is use that to base my analysis and entry off of. No, seriously, that's what I do. I would actually look at areas in which I think retail traders would make this statement and say, I think in this area, based on what I'm seeing, retail traders would make the statement that NZDJPY has been going up for too long and this makes sense to sell. Because I've used this example before that, you build your house with only one element, you build your house with just glass, eventually someone can pass with a stone, throw it at your house and your entire house will shatter. That's essentially what you do when you call a top, essentially. That's what you would have done. You would have just called a top. You would have said that NZDJPY, has been, according to what Lance is saying, has been bullish for too long. It has been buying for too long, so it makes sense to sell. Now let's look at further evidence of this. Let's look at further evidence of this. Notice that right here, this is a big, gigantic wick to the downside. Now, something I teach is called the rejection principle. This is present here, the rejection principle. And this wick, a bull candle, is rejecting the low, and it closed bullish. Does it mean that this candle was always bullish? What do you think? Was this candle always bullish? No. At some point, this candle was bearish. And let's see if we can find some evidence of that. Ooh, well, isn't that interesting? Wow. I wonder who put that there. I wonder who put that there. Now, what do you think the vast majority of traders are going to do in a scenario like this? You see a big, gigantic red candle. What do you think they are induced to do? They say, oh my God, I don't want to miss out on this move. And right where this candle is being presented, that's where they enter. And they enter for sells because they see a big candle and they say, right, that is the momentum we need. We're going down with this one. And it does go down. Indeed, it does. For give or take from the close of this candle, give or take about, what's that, 17 pips? All right, cool. 16 pips, give or take, 17 pips, let's just say. And it does go down. But how long does it go down for? And that 17 pips is enough to capture all of the orders below this area because the dealer knows that retail would have been selling in this area because of that calling a top. Do you not think that retail traders would have been selling either here, or even here and here? Look at the areas. You could say this one, you can say this one, you can say this one. Look at this listen, this is the same trap I talk about every single time. Say that one. 6 potential reasons retail traders might have had to possibly sell. And you know something? It's actually 7 because this would have been one as well. 7 reasons to sell. But the thing is, it's not 7 different reasons, It's 7 of the same reason. And that's what induction looks like. That's what induction looks like. It's the same thing. They're just repeating it over and over and over. And the messed up thing is that, they see the same exact thing. They get, hurt and burnt by the same exact thing over and over and over and don't learn. And thus, NZD JPY would be up from where I said it most likely would buy with the 10 pip stop loss, right? If it did not take me out, and it would have, as you could see, it would be up 100 pips if it didn't take me out. Now, this is still a good risk to reward. Had I taken it, this would have still been a pretty good risk to reward, even though it would have taken me out. That's fine. because I would have risked 10, and if the risk was not seen, this would have given me 100 pips last night. Right? Aiden and I agreed. Most likely they do, right? Most likely they do. They come for just me, and then that is it. But further proof of this exact structure holding true is NZD/USD. The same thing happened. The same thing happened. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let's do it again. Do you not think that in this area, retail or any other trader for that matter, right? Any other trader for that matter would have not seen some kind of signal to sell here or 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 here. Look at that. Why is the dealer giving you so much time to sell? Now, if you're listening to this via recording, you're listening to this and you're a new trader, new to my teachings, or you're seeing this on YouTube or wherever, you're probably thinking, well, this is just a breakout strategy. No, it's not. Because a breakout strategy would require a retest of this zone. They would look for something that looks like this, right? Where it goes up and it comes back down, and this is where they would buy. Notice, they don't wait. They don't wait until it goes up, comes back down, and stays here to produce that signal that tells me, right, it's having problems breaking the low, right? Yeah, I think I will, all right? But notice, with NZD/JPY, the entry was not a breakout. It was below retail or people who trade breakouts. People who trade breakouts would have literally disregarded this and most likely said sells. So they would have been burnt here as well because it did not break out. It did not break out. They most likely would have said sells and disregarded this altogether. And thus they would have missed the move. And that's why even breakout traders have problems with moves like this. Right? If NZD/USD, if we were able to catch it, you know, let's see. You would have had something like this. Well, that would have definitely been taken out. And let's see. 50 pips. If you weren't taken out. And that's so interesting. It's freaky. It's almost freaky. All right. So, and all the NZD pairs. So it was NZDXXX buys and XXX NZD sells, meaning NZD/USD, NZD/CHF, NZD/JPY, NZD CAD, all of them would have been buys last night, as you see, as is clear. All right. And anything that has NZD as the quote currency, mainly AUD NZD, Euro NZD, GBP NZD, most likely would have been sells. And let's see if that holds true. So Euro NZD would have been sells, GBP NZD would have been sells, and AUD NZD also should have been sells. Boom. Look at that. I think I had this last night too, if I'm not mistaken. Right, but again, it didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. I think I actually did say sells on this as well. Granted that that's the possible M up there. All right. So yeah, it's interesting, eh? It's very interesting. If you are in alignment with the trap, doesn't matter the structure. It does not matter the structure. So long as so long as you understand what the structure is really showing, the trap is always in alignment with it.